Two police officers who defended the U.S. Capitol during the January 6th insurrection filed a federal lawsuit to ask a judge to order the hanging of a plaque at the Capitol to honor police who protected lawmakers and staff from rioters. Let's go live to CBS News Justice correspondent Scott MacFarlane. Scott, thank you for joining us today. That plaque, it sits in storage, still uninstalled. So why is it taking so long to get this done?
Oh, this is a unique legal challenge. The two officers who filed this suit characterized this standoff over this January 6th plaque as maddening and inexplicable. It was, under federal law, required to be hung at the U.S. Capitol by March 2023, an enormous plaque to honor the police heroes of January 6th, where more than 2 years later, it has still not been hung. It's in storage, and congressional leaders have made no commitments to get the thing hung, even though it was required 2 years ago. So Daniel Hodges, a D.C. police officer, and Harry Dunn, a retired U.S. Capitol police officer, have today filed a civil suit in the U.S. District Court for Washington, D.C., seeking a court order to do what the law required, to have the plaque hung. They cite a 14th Amendment violation here because they say the Capitol is full of honorifics for police officers in the past, but that their officers, their colleagues, and they themselves are being discriminated against. We'll see how quickly this makes it to a judge and how quickly an order could come, but a lot of this is just marinating in politics as the president tries to rewrite the history of January 6th, and his surrogates do not want to run afoul of him and don't speak of January 6th anymore.
Wow. Marinating in politics. That's a good way to put it, Scott. I know you're also watching the cases of union leader David Huerta and Congresswoman LaMonica McIver. They're both facing felony charges. So what are their allegations against them, and what is their defense?
Two different coasts, one case in Los Angeles, one in New Jersey, but there is a symmetry there. Both are accused of obstructing federal immigration agents in different ways. Huerta over the weekend during the unrest in Los Angeles, McIver in May at the Delaney Immigration Facility in Newark. Here's the latest reporting from CBS News. McIver will appear for an arraignment Monday morning in federal court in Newark, facing a federal felony charge which could be punishable by several years in prison if she were convicted. She accuses the Trump administration and the Department of Justice of a terrible overreach here and an overcharging and a misappropriation of resources from the Department of Justice. Huerta's case is still pending in the federal court in Los Angeles. His supporters also argue this is an overreach by the Department of Justice, charging a case that shouldn't have been charged in the first place. Both, though, have galvanized their own supporters. These cases are now bigger than just these two individuals. Right. They are causes when they return to court.
And Scott, we know you're also watching filings in the case of the Maryland father mistakenly deported by the Trump administration, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. So we know he's now back in the U.S., but what are you watching for with this case?
A detention hearing tomorrow in Nashville for Abrego Garcia as the Department of Justice tries to argue why he should be held in custody in the criminal case pending trial. They'll make some arguments about his risk of fleeing or his danger to the community. We'll watch for that. He's in custody pending the hearing tomorrow. But in Maryland, where his supporters and family have been suing for 2 months now to get him returned to the United States, they today asked a judge for sanctions, penalties against the Trump administration for waiting this long, defying a court order to return Abrego Garcia from that Salvadoran detention facility to the United States. We'll see how the judge in Maryland, who has already been concerned about being defied, responds to that motion.
Wow, so many cases to watch for with this administration. Scott MacFarlane, thank you so much for your insight. Appreciate it.